domestic violence. Most people don't really know what it is or even know it exists. Domestic violence is the violent or aggressive behavior of one person inflicted onto another within the household. Typically, the abuser is a lover, spouse, or family member of the victim, who is usually a female. Domestic violence happens every day and is all around us. Here are women from across the globe ready to speak up about domestic violence. These are their stories.
Hi.
Talofa.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm 6 years old.
65.
52 years old.
I'm 46.
Lesefuluvalu.
9 years old. From the USA.
From Paramount, California.
From the Philippines. From Long Beach, California.
My America Samoa.
Indonesia.
I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I'm a full-time student at Boston University.
And I'm currently a middle school teacher.
I'm a business owner, currently a director of a nonprofit organization.
And I'm at risk.
And I am at risk.
And I'm at risk.
And I am at risk.
Lau o langa e whaamatau e tau o ainga.
1 in 3 women have been a victim of domestic violence, with over half of the women death last year was at the hands of significant others or family members. Most of these cases go unreported, leaving women dead or in prison in a never-ending cycle of domestic violence. I was 19.
I was 3
when I was 5 years old.
Vavai.
At 17, I experienced domestic violence from a high school boyfriend.
My father beat my mother relentlessly in front of my siblings and I.
My sister's boyfriend would use my sister's emotional dependency against her for the next year.
Le tangata na o fusi i ai o lau tuanane.
This continued for over 13 years until one day she was knocked unconscious.
He threw me down and began screaming at me. He sat on me and he held my arms down while yelling at me. The more I fought back, the more I got hit. His brother was in the other room and he heard me, but he never came in to help.
Finally, she attempted to commit suicide because she couldn't take the constant put-downs anymore. My father would come home in a bad mood, and at a drop of the hat, he would lash out on the nearest thing, which usually was my mother. My mom suffered from PTSD from all of the beatings. She would flinch constantly in fear of being attacked.
E whasi au I lau tuanana le sefulu tausanga. E le maua si o manui e tau ai le au. E au tuanane le kolisi.
She was taken to the hospital and my dad was sentenced to jail.
He would constantly get in my sister's head and make her believe that she wasn't good enough, causing her to be dependent on her boyfriend in an unhealthy way. Being around this environment, I believed this behavior was normal. My dad would beat my mom, and then he'd give her flowers as if nothing had happened. This has followed me my entire life.
Everyone is at risk of domestic violence.
Many female victims have been mistreated as young children and have been raised to accept violence as a normal aspect of life. In 2013 alone, 70% of women and girls, even as young as 4 years old, were victims of some form of domestic violence once in their life by a family member or intimate partner. Out of the 70%, only 14% of the cases were reported. Domestic violence happens everywhere and often goes unreported. I am at risk of being a victim of domestic violence.
And I'm at risk.
I'm at risk of being a victim of domestic violence.
O au foi e whaamatau I le tau o inga.
And I'm at risk of being a victim of domestic violence.
I'm at risk of being a victim of domestic violence.
I am at risk of being a victim of domestic violence.
And I will not stay silent any longer. Call your authorities for help. Speak up now.
disrespect me. I wanna say why you say all those things to me. Yes, I am a queen. It's time that you finally see. You will regret what you did to me. I am a queen and you can't resist me. Every